Hello everyone, it's Bill, it's that college football guy, here with another video. Oh my goodness. I brought up the fact and I've got more, I have to tell a little story that happened here. Like I said, since the time is running out for some people who are hating on the ACC because the conference is going to be dead by June 30th. The sand is moving out of that hourglass really damn fast. Somehow, by June 30th, they're still going to be here. In fact, even after June 30th, they're going to be here. And even the most diehard ACC fan will say this. Between now and I'm going to say July 1st, 2027. That's far enough out. The number of the schools that are in the conference now won't be the same as what it is in 2027. There's going to be a change. Now, everybody has been, and I have been doing well on I made a lot of videos, and I did well on the viewership about who I thought the ACC was going to lose. But I did say this a while back on there that they made a very preemptive move, a preemptive strike, to plan for adding 3 schools to compensate for the 3 who were leaving, which we all know there is 3 leaving. Here's the problem with that, though, and even the most diehard ACC fan knows this. The SEC and the Big Ten are not adding singles. They're adding in pairs. So if they both want to add, that means 4. So why is everything in a holding pattern? Because they're waiting on Notre Dame. Notre Dame hasn't officially told them no yet. Notre Dame's apparently talking to NBC. Now, somebody put out the crazy, idiotic rumor that if NBC threatened them that if Notre Dame doesn't join the Big Ten, they're not going to renew their contract. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They're not doing that. NBC had Notre Dame before NBC was part of the Big Ten. Okay? It's not a sudden Johnny come lately. I mean, they've been on NBC for I don't know how long at this point. So it's silly. I don't see that's just nothing to do with this, but everything's in a holding pattern. The SEC is not adding anybody for 2 reasons. One, they want to see what they have with Oklahoma and Texas. How's this going to work? Blend everybody in. Wait a couple of years. Then we'll see what happens. So, nothing may be happening soon, folks. I hate to break it to you. Said, private equity is going to get them out of here. Let me ask you a question. If you're private equity, say you are private equity and you're the one giving the money out, are you going to give somebody a blank check? Or are you going to want to know how much they're paying? They're going to have to pay how much you're paying them, and therefore how much the agreement is, how much money, percentage of their revenue you're getting back, so that way you turn a profit. You writing a blank check? No. You're finding out what the hell it is, and you're coming to an agreement. But until the amount for the departure fee is known, nobody's doing anything. Now, there's background stuff, preliminary stuff for Florida State, who's who I'm referring to here, if they have indeed private equity behind this, that they're doing back channel communications, but nothing formal is going to get done until they get a dollar amount. How much is it to leave? Until that's done, nothing happens. Are you going to leave and go to another conference without not having a place to go because you can't talk? The Big Ten's not, and the SEC will not talk to you unless you've given your notice. They're not talking to you. Let me put one thing in. They're not talking to you formally, but I've said a lot of this stuff is, and we all know this, that a lot of this communication is done is when the booster, the major donor of one university, goes out on the golf course with a booster, the major donor of another major university from an opposite conference, or just so happens to have the ear of someone in the conference's offices. And next thing you know, back channel stuff gets done that way. How many deals have been closed on a golf course? A lot. And wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form that this is the way this is going to go down. So now, here comes the funny part. this is the story I was getting into before I went off my little tangent about things. So, ACC, I will say one thing before the story. Oh, the ACC loses 3 schools, but they got to add some more. I was a believer in that. Heard the word? Was. Not is. Was. The way I look at how the Big Ten's handling things, the way I look at how the SEC is handling things, the way I look at how the Big 12 is handling things, was the Big 12 doesn't want to add anybody. They want to see what they have and how this is going to work. The ACC is going to lose eventually 3 schools. We have Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina are going to go at some point. But right now, their concern is, okay, fine, how's everything going? How can we integrate Stanford, Cal, and SMU? Are there any logistics issues going out to California? Are there any complaints from the student athletes that could possibly make things better? Because that will be important. Is there logistical problems? But you're not going to do that until you actually do things. And you're not going to add anything to that until you get that figured out. And that's going to take a few years. Travel back and forth. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, this does. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now we figured it out. That's trial and error. It happens every time. You have a good footprint, but nothing is perfect. There's always going to be mistakes. And there's going to be some trial and error. But overall, there'll be a smooth sailing. Now, will the ACC add someone somewhere eventually? I will say this. If a golden opportunity presents itself, whether it's in the first 2 years or not, that a golden opportunity to add someone to the conference, they're going to jump at it if it's a golden opportunity. If it's not, if it's a G5 school, they're going to wait. And they may not add anybody. They just say, you know what, we're done. We're done. But can we... Is there an opportunity to do something here like, okay, this we can't pass up. We'd be a fool to do this. And they're interested, okay. You know, a situation like that comes along, they're going to do it. I mean, they'd be foolish not to. As to what that is, I don't know. Can you tell me what's going to happen 6 months from now in college football in the Big 12, ACC, Big 10, SEC, Pac-12, all the other G6 conferences? Can you tell me all that? No. We don't know. It's ever changing. So, the ACC may not be adding anyone short term. They may just go, and I feel they will be doing is just going static, see what things are, work out logistical issues, because, you know, once you start going to California, there's going to be something that you didn't plan for that pops up, because it always does. Some logistical issue that you got to take care of. Okay, fine, we got to figure this out. Like, hopefully the next time it doesn't happen again. Okay, did that work? Well, not completely, or yes, it did, or you fine tune. Just trial and error, just keep going through it. But I don't think they're going to add anybody. They've got their 3, they'll have their 3. And since everybody voted to sue Florida State, except for Florida State, North Carolina, and Clemson, they're united on that. So, it may not be happening for everybody out there. There'll be a lot of people from a lot of other conferences are going to be mad. A lot of people on Twitter, on X are really going to be mad. What do you mean there's no expansion? Yeah, all your content's gone. But here's the story. Now that I've gone through what I needed to get through and get this out of my system, because it was pissing me off. I've been dealing with someone on Twitter off and on. Not going to mention the guy's name. But he on there and has been blowing me up on my messages. He's not a subscriber. Or actually, he was a subscriber and then he quit because I didn't advocate for the complete destruction of the ACC. And because of that, he unsubscribed. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I look at what it is and realize, okay, I was wrong. I was wrong thinking the ACC is doing this. Now, could I be wrong again? Of course. But I was wrong. I look at it now and go like, yeah, I was wrong. I don't see it happening. I was wrong about that. But, see Monty Show? Admitting you're wrong. Had to throw that dig in. Those guys claim they're never wrong about everything and they're wrong 90% of the time. But anyway, I digress. Tell me, are you mad at me for all this stuff about the ACC not dying and everything else? I said, they're not. They're gonna die. They have to die. Like, whoa. Okay. So I said, you know, it was Sunday. I was on my lunch break on Sunday. I said, you know what? Right after I recorded the video, let's talk to this guy. And I talked to him all the way up until about 9 o'clock last night. And it was off and on about, it was just, the conversation going on. And I was like, why do you hate the ACC so damn much? Or did you apply for an ACC school and they kicked you out because your academics weren't good enough? Did you have a girlfriend there and she stood you up? What? No, I hate the ACC, everything it stands for. So I don't know. So did you go to? I didn't apply to any damn ACC school. I'm like, okay. Are you a Big 12 who hates some Big 12 fans who hate the ACC and want them to be destroyed? So that way they're clear cut number 3. No, I hate the Big 12 too. So you're from the Big 10 and the SEC school, right? So you're one of the part of the elite in here, and you don't want anybody else, the riffraff, coming in. No, that's not it either. Or you want someone that goes, no, I'm not from either one of those guys. I'm not from any power conference. Not from any power. Then all of a sudden it clicked. I'm like, wait a minute. Would your university that's your alma mater, would it be a school from the American by any chance? Yeah, it is. It's Memphis. I want the ACC to die so that way the Big 10 and the SEC pick who they want, the Big 12 picks who they want, the conference is dissolved, everybody else goes in the American so that way our conference doesn't die. So why would your conference die? I mean, the ACC, I told them, I'm making a video on it on Monday. Or on Monday. I don't think they're going to dissolve. The ACC is going to go away. It's not going to dissolve. And they're not going to raid either. They're just going to sit what they have. They went from 15 to 18 back to 15. They're going to just sit there and do what happens. And if a golden opportunity presents itself, they'll do that. But other than that, I don't think they're doing anything. Except figuring out their new normal. That's it. And then in his case says, you put out the video about, you said the American was in more of a danger than the ACC is. It says, yeah, and I still believe that. And he asked me why. It says, well, if the ACC takes teams, that weakens you. But the simple fact of the matter is, you've been the top dog on the G5 sale. Oregon State, Washington State formed the Pac-12 again. They're going to be top dog, not you. They'll have more money to offer, not you, which means some schools will leave you possibly to go to the Pac-12. And his answer was, I know. That's why I want the ACC to die, so that way we're back being number 1 again. You never know where the delusion's coming from. Because I have to admit, that was not the first place I was thinking. Because I've had some Big 12 fans who come up on me saying the fact that the ACC needs to die so we can get the 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 or whatever the hell schools they will think they're going to get. But no. Would you have guessed a school from the American being someone like that? It wasn't me. I didn't think that. But it turns out that's exactly what it was. Who knew? But, yeah, so simply put, okay? To be simple. ACC is not going to be adding anybody after the 3 leave. Now, there's some on there who say, oh, Clemson's not leaving. You're not spending millions of dollars. Okay, this is the one I have pushback on people. Florida State's leaving. North Carolina needs to leave. Clemson's gone too. They voted not to sue Florida State because they want out too. It's time to let go. The other the other ACC fans I have, they know they're gone, which is the whole reason they're happy with the other 3 coming in, because it keeps them at their 15. They're fine. They don't worry about it. Now that there's no divisions anymore, they go back to the 15. They're going to be fine, because they'll go to a 3-5-5 schedule and an 8-game conference schedule, 4 non-cons. They're going to be fine. They won't have a worry. They're doing 3-6-6 right now, 9-game schedule. Those 3 leave, they drop back down to an 8, and they got 4 non-cons. Versus losing a non-con, though. and conference games coming. So they're going to be fine. So this turns to a different situation. But that's going to be a video I'm going to do on Wednesday. Now, everybody's putting out their private equity, making a Super G5 conference, Super G6. And I've said this. At the G6 level, you better at least double your money or you're not making any money. Because they're talking the G6, it's going to be 30% of your revenue gone. So if you count all your revenue that you make a year now is 40, and say it only goes up to 60, what's 30% of 60? 18 million. So you went from 40 to 42. That's if nothing goes wrong. Why have private equity in the first place? Because like I said, the only way to make sense is if you're doubling your money. If you were like making, say, that's 40, 80, but say you're G5 and you're making 5, and private equity says they can put you up to 10, and then you go down to 7. You lose 30%, that puts you down to 7. So that's an increase, but that's something on there. And I don't know if JY or Steve is watching this one. If you are, had an idea. I don't know if you guys, since you guys have, since we talked last, you've had about 9 videos, it seems like, that's in the pike right now. And I'm wondering if one of them was about the financial implications of each university possibly leaving the Mountain West to join the Pac-12, since you are the big mountain and talk about the Mountain West. But that's a little message to them. If they're not doing anything with it, I might work on something for it, because I got attacked for suggesting the fact that Air Force was not a valuable football addition for the Pac-12 because Nevada or New Mexico would be more valuable because of their basketball. Because Air Force brings in football dollars. You're only making $5 million a year. If those basketball schools bring in, combined together, or each one brings in about, in a 5-year period, brings 4 basketball shares in, 3 to 4 basketball shares, I got news for you. That's more money than what Air Force brings in with their viewership adding in. That's more money. Basketball is a lot more important at the G5 level than it is at the power level. But I've talked enough. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I don't know where the heck I'm at anymore. I'm here in Illinois. I'll be heading on my way down to Memphis. I'm not going to make it down there today. I won't even make it to Arkansas. I'll be somewhere in Missouri tonight. Probably near the Arkansas border, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how well the traffic goes. I might even make it in Arkansas. Who knows? But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't done it already, come on, you know what to do. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. This is the simple question for you to answer. Yeah. I'm a little out of it right now. Now, do you think that after Florida State, Clemson, and Carolina leave, will they add anybody within the next 3 years after they leave? My answer is no. Unless it's something absolutely spectacular. But odds are, no. It may be 5, 10 years before they do anything. Can ESPN change things? Possibly. Possibly not. But that's the question answer. And also for JY and Steve, they're working on anything on that one, because I'm working on that a little bit. I haven't really started on it, to be honest with you. But if you guys already have it in the pike, I won't even bother, because I got 6 other video ideas I got cooking up that I can throw in. But that's a question I actually can ask you guys. Do you think at the G5 level, because football doesn't bring in, it brings in dollars, But if you're like, look at the Sun Belt or Conference USA. What made more money for them? The $800,000 a year in revenue? You had one school like Louisiana Tech's football revenue was more important, or was it Liberty's bowl wins and the schools going in the NCAA tournament? And the NCAA tournament money means a lot more than small in the G5 level than the football money does for smaller schools. Not the big money guys, but for the smaller ones, they're important. As I've said, if you're not good at football, you better damn well be good at basketball. So that way you bring something to the table. When you're bad at both, that's when it becomes an issue. But let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Share the video if you want to, and if you haven't done already, check out some of the other videos I've done. If you like some of the ones I've done, hey, subscribe to the channel. You know, just past 600 on the way up to 1,000, make some things happen. So thanks everybody for watching. Hoping everybody's having a great day. Be safe, and please be good to each other.